Hey everyone, my name is Jessamine L. Ascendiente, the first reporter of the last group. Have you heard MTB and MLE? MTB stands for Mother Tongue Based and MLE stands for Multilingual Education. So, MTB is the first word we uttered. And MLE or multilingual education is the other language we learned in school. So today, in this module, we will explain why MLE is the way to go if Filipinos truly want a long-term solution to the ill-plaguing the Philippines educational system, such as high functional illiteracy or ang pagtaas sa hindi marunong sa pagsusulat at pagbabasa, and low learning outcomes o ang pagpasok lang sa paaralan pero walang masyadong natutunan, and high dropout rate, so ang pagtaas ng pagdadrop ng mga estudyante sa paaralan. Next is, this is also useful in advocating and gaining support for mother tongue instruction as a means of improving educational quality as well as saving the world's many endangered languages. So, ang mother tongue daw, we can acknowledge the mother tongue in educational system. Why? Because ang estudyante or the learners can express themselves easily and freely. Example, sa tuwa sa una, di ba umanta sa atong paggawas, sa atong pagkatawa, wala man ta ingon nga kabalo din itong English. Kundi natin mga sarili na itong mga language or mother tongue ang atong natunan una. What is language?
It is the foundation of every culture.
The foundation of every culture. So it means, tulad sa atin, dito sa Mindanao, di ba marami tayong lugar sa Mindanao. So, in every places in Mindanao, meron tayong iba't ibang kultura. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, meron tayong mga lingwahe na nakapagpatatag sa ating kultura. Dahil kung hindi tayo nagkakaintindihan, hindi magiging matatag ang ating kultura.
It is also an abstract system of word meaning and symbols for all aspects of culture.
So, yun ang yung sinasabi ko na sa bawat kultura may sarili tayong lingwahe. At sa bawat kultura, ang lingwahe natin ang sumisimbolo ang naglalarawan sa ating mga kultura. Tulad na lang dito sa Mindanao. Halimbawa sa Muslims. Sa Muslim, masasabi natin na Muslim sila sa pamamagitan ng kanilang pananamit. At sa Bisaya at sa Mandaya, hindi natin malalaman agad pag hindi natin naririnig ang kanilang lingwahe. Dahil hindi naman natin masasabi na siya ay Mandaya dahil ang Bisaya at ang Mandaya ay magkapareho lamang na way sa pananamit. Yung tulad ng pananamit ng Bisaya at Mandaya, same lang talaga sila. Tapos, so kung hindi natin sila maririnig na magsalita ng Mandaya, hindi natin masasabi na Mandaya sila. At sa pagsasalita rin nila sa Bisaya, parang maririnig mo talaga, masasabi mo din na sila ay Mandaya dahil sa tono ng kanilang pananalita. It includes speech, written characters, numerals, symbols, gestures, and expression of non-verbal communication. So yun na ngayon kanina na agad nating ma-recognize na if she is a Muslim or he, and then if she is a Mandaya and Bisaya, pag narinig na natin silang magsalita at sa tono ng kanilang pagsasalita. And according to Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, language does more than simply describe reality. It also serves to shape the reality of a culture. So according to Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, ang language ang bumubuo sa isang kultura. Dahil kung wala ang lingwahe, hindi mabubuo ang kultura at hindi magkakaintindihan ang bawat tao.
Hello everyone, I am Chineme T. Alilingan. So now, let us unlock the term mother tongue. What is mother tongue? When we say mother tongue, it refers to one's native language, the language learned by children and passed from one generation to the next. So, in other words, mother tongue is the first language learned by a child at home. Ito ay nakuha nila mula sa kanilang mga magulang. That is mother tongue. Now, what is mother tongue based multilingual education? When we say multilingual education, it refers to the first language first education. That is, schooling which begins in the mother tongue and transitions to additional language. So MLE is a type of education of which children have to master and nurture first their first language or the native language or mother tongue prior to learning or acquiring additional languages. So in other words, if a Filipino child already master his or her native language, then he is now ready to acquire another language. Then MLE is the use of more than two languages for literacy and instruction. It starts from where the learners are and from what they already know. This means learning to read and write in their first language or L1 and also teaching subjects like mathematics, science, health, and social studies and in the L1. By the way, L1 or language 1 is refers to the moderate and the first language. So the mother tongue based multilingual education or the MTB-MLE suggests that students have to master first the mother tongue prior to acquiring or learning other languages. The L1, then L2, then L3. And now let's move on the purpose of MTB-MLE. Its purpose is to develop appropriate cognitive and reasoning skills, enabling children to operate equally in different languages, starting in the mother tongue with transition to Filipino and then English, and to preserve the Philippine cultural treasure as well. So the child will speak their mother tongue and then with transition to Filipino, and then later on a child can speak in English. So there are variety or we have 12 dialects considered by DepEd in its MTB-MLE implementation. So we have here Iloco, Pangasinan, Kapampangan, Tagalog, Bicol, Waray, Hiligaynon, Cebuano, Maranao, Chavacano, Magindanaon, and Tausug. Now, why teaching mother tongue as a subject in school is important? So why do you think or why is it that mother tongue subject is important in school? First one is, it will preserve our country's cultural treasure. Yes, it is, because our mother tongue or we the learners can be able to understand well the cultural pressure or how to preserve our culture if we are going to use mother tongue in a school. The second one is, it provides learners with a strong educational foundation in the first language in terms of instruction. Yes, it is, because the very important foundation of a child is to provide a clear instruction, or the teacher can really provide clear instruction to the learners. So mother tongue is there so that the learner can easily or clearly understand instructions of the teachers. and it is a stepping stone in achieving the aims of education as well as the goal of functional literacy. There are benefits of MTB-MLE. Reduce dropout, reduce repetition, children are attending school, children are learning, and parents and community are enrolled. So what will happen if MTB-MLE is not used? Maybe it can lose of confidence of students in themselves as learners. It will also result to an ability to learn the official school language well, and high repetition and dropout rates, alienation from heritage, language, and culture from parents and community, as well as loss of languages, culture, and knowledge systems.
For the application of the mother tongue-based multilingual education, we all know that it is an education in several languages based on the other mother tongue. Now, according to the UNESCO, in 1952 release a policy paper recommending that every pupil should begin formal education in his or her mother tongue. Now, UNESCO has also clearly supported initial reading, writing, and learning in the language of the learner on psychological and pedagogical grounds. So here in the Philippines, Department Order Number 74 Series of 2009 institutionalizing Mother Tongue-Based Multilingual Education or MTB-MLE declared by Benigno Aquino Jr. And according to all researchers that students learn to read and write mostly ineffectively and efficiently when instructions takes place through the medium of the mother tongue. Now, the beginning of language teaching mother tongue is termed as language 1. This leads to the learning of the second language called language 2 and the third language called language 3. Mother tongue-based multilingual education is also a universal kindergarten education. The kindergarten has now been integrated into the basic education system to ensure that all the grade 2 students are ready for the academic learning. Up until now, the mother tongue-based multilingual education has been taught by the teachers as a medium of instruction from kindergarten to grade 3. This includes the following: Tagalog, Kapampangan, Pangasinense, Ilocano, Bicol, Cebuano, Hiligaynon, Waray, Tausug, Maguindanao, Maranao, and Cebuano. The medium of instructions will be English and Filipino starting grade 4. So this idea on the use of the mother tongue leads to the multiple definitions of literary, such as literary as simply knows how to read and write or particular script. It also applying this knowledge for specific purposes in specific cultural contexts.
Hi everyone, my name is Ivy M. Zamora, and today let's talk about the key concepts in MTB-MLE. But before that, I have a question. Why should the early graders be taught specifically in all subjects in their mother tongue first? It is because one does not learn in a language that he does not understand. Second, when a beginning learner thinks, he uses the language that he grew up with. On the other, mother tongue-based multilingual or MTB-MLE is an educational or an education program for children who do not speak or who do not understand the official language where they begin. Okay, and so following, I will discuss to you now the main features or the key concepts in the MTB-MLE. First, students extend their mother tongue vocabulary and develop confidence in using the mother tongue in school. Small children quickly learn to enjoy school when they can use their mother tongue to talk about things they know and do every day. They develop confidence in using their mother tongue for learning when their teacher introduces new concepts in the mother tongue, and then encourage them to share some ideas. Also, they expand their mother tongue school vocabulary when their teacher introduces new mother tongue terms gradually and always in a meaningful way. Second, they learn to read and write in their mother tongue. Yes, that is true. Beginning with short and simple stories about how letters are put together to make words and how words are put together to make sentences. And their teacher or encourages them to create their own picture stories. Like for example, they will create their own story based on what they heard from previous from their grandmothers or parents from what happened before. And also, even before they can form letters and spell correctly, the first step in becoming confident and becoming a creative writers. Additionally, they also practice writing mother tongue letters, words, and then sentences neatly and correctly. Third is they begin learning the official school language when their teachers introduce it using activities that make language learning fun. Teachers use a carefully constructed plan that adds new words and phrases each day, always building on what the students know to help them learn new words and new sentences constructions. When students demonstrate that they are ready, teachers begin asking questions in the official school. Like for example, they will ask about the familiar topics that students can answer in single words or short phrases. Also, their answers gradually get longer if they have more ideas about the topic, and then soon they can use their new language to talk about a variety of topics relating to their everyday life. And to this, as they build their everyday vocabulary in the official language, they also gain an understanding of its basic grammar. The entire process aims to help learn the language through meaningful interactions rather than by repeating and memorizing words and phrases that they do not understand. Fourth, they begin reading and writing the official school language. Okay, in this, when students have learned to read and write their mother tongue and have a basic level of fluency in speaking the official school language, they begin transferring the reading and writing skills to the school language. The fourth one, they learn additional languages as required in the curriculum. Many MTB-MLE students are required to learn 3 or more languages in primary school. And the process for learning each new language follows the same basic steps as for learning the official language or the school language. And for the summary, teachers use only the student's mother tongue for inspiration or instruction in early primary, usually to the end of grade 2. By the way, mother tongue used only in the kindergarten level up to grade 3. Young MTB-MLE students learn successfully and gain confidence because they use their mother tongue to learn and apply new concepts as they are also learning to speak, read, and write the school language. Also, teachers use the mother tongue and the official language for instruction in middle to upper primary. Usually, yes, as what I've talked, from kindergarten to grade 3 there, they are using the mother tongue. And grade 3 to up, that is what they use the school language for instruction. When students have gained confidence in using the official language to talk about familiar topics, teachers use it with the mother tongue for teaching math, science, and other academic subjects. So here, they introduce a new concept in the mother tongue and provide an activity that helps students understand it. Okay, they carefully introduce 1 to 3 important academic terms. Examples in English, solar system, planet, relating to the new concept in the official school language. Then they use the terms as they briefly review the concept, speaking carefully and checking the students if they learn the concept or the new topic with the mother tongue or the school language. They provide a short team activity relating to the new concept and encourage students to use their new language as they work for together. And then they finish the lesson with a short review of the concept in the mother tongue, and then checking again to make sure students understood the concept. Also, booklet for policymakers. Teachers use the mother tongue to support the official school language in the final year of the program. And therefore, teachers introduce and teach concepts in the official school language and encourage students to use it as they do activities together. Teachers continue to speak carefully to help students understand. They introduce 1 to 3 new terms relating to the lesson and that students will need to know as they continue into higher grades. Then teachers finish the lesson by using the students' mother tongue to check for comprehension. Then the year by year schedule below, or there are some examples as the way or as the learners way as the learners learn. Okay, and I hope you understand and get what I have discussed. That is only the key concepts in MTB-MLE.
And now, I'm going to discuss the synthesis of mother tongue-based multilingual education or MTB-MLE. MLE refers to the first language first, means schooling begins in the mother tongue and next the transitions of other languages. There are two end goals of MTB-MLE. These are the lifelong learning and communicative competence. What does lifelong learning means? Learning in the learner's home language built a solid and strong foundation. Moreover, it gives a higher opportunities for the learners. It gives higher education opportunities and technical vocational skills. What are these technical vocational skills? These are the project management, computer programming, data analysis, problem solving, and so many more, within which it gives to the learners their full potential to become active participants and give higher opportunities in the near future for an employment. In that sense, they can break down the poverty. On the other hand, communicative competence means the ability of the learners to understand and use language appropriately to communicate the authentic situation, meaning applying the real interactions of the real situations. In the mother tongue-based multilingual education develops the cognitive development, academic development, and second language development. Cognitive development is strengthen the higher order thinking skills of the learners. It expands also the ideas and articulating thoughts. Moreover, learning mother tongue build a strong foundation in which it enhances the reasoning and problem solving of the learners. Academic development. It focuses that from kindergarten to grade 3, mother tongue became a medium of instruction in all learning areas. It includes mathematics, sciences, social sciences, and the arts. Second language development. Mother tongue-based multilingual education aids confidence building and proficiency development of 2 or more languages along the following macro skills. What are these macro skills? We have speaking, listening, reading, writing, and viewing, in which it gives true meaning and accuracy of the learners. Also, it enhances and acquire learners to learn more different languages such as Filipino and English. Overall, mother tongue-based multilingual education provides a chance for the learners who sees greatly higher opportunities and higher education.
And now I am going to discuss the 8 principles in mother tongue-based multilingual education, or also known as MTB-MLE. The first principle in mother tongue-based multilingual education is known to the unknown. Learning requires meaning. We learn when we use what we already know to help us understand what is new. According to Usabel, the most important single factor influencing learning is what the learner already knows. This means that teachers must start with what the learners already know about a topic and use that to introduce the new concept. In addition, second language learner use what they know in their own language to help develop other languages such as English or Tagalogs. As a result, teachers develop an awareness of how the first language works to support the learning of second and third languages. The second principle is language and academic development. Students with well-developed skills in their first language have been shown to acquire additional languages more easily and fully, and that in return has a positive impact on academic achievement, which this is highly recommended that teachers continue the oral development of first language and begin reading in their mother tongue to strengthen second and third language, as well as academic achievement across the curriculum. The third principle is cognitive development. So this emphasizes the students who use their multi-language skills have been shown to develop cognitive flexibility and divergent thinking. It is necessary to continue developing critical thinking in the mother tongue as well as in the second and third languages. Additionally, when we truly learn something, we can explain it, we can apply it, we can also analyze, and we can evaluate it. And also, we can use to create new ideas and information. As a result, in all subjects, teacher must focus activities that build understanding and that encourage students to apply, analyze, and evaluate what they have learned to create new knowledge. For the fourth principle, we have discovery of learning. A person learns when someone understands the new idea or task and help them to discover the new idea and then use it in meaningful way. So it is necessary for teachers to find out what the students already know about the topic. Then they provide activities that let the students use their knowledge to learn the new concept or task.
The fifth principle is active learning. Children learn best through peer interactions or in a group activities in which they work together creatively to solve the problems. With this, it is beneficial to do most class activities in teams or pairs to encourage students to talk with each other and compare ideas in order to solve problems. In addition, talking or communicating to each other helps us make sense of new ideas and information, which is why teachers have to provide plenty of opportunities for students to work in teams for them to share and compare ideas and use it meaningfully. The sixth principle is meaning and accuracy. Successful learning involves hearing, speaking, reading, and writing activities that focus on both meaning and accuracy. That is why it is necessary to include plenty of activities, tasks, or assessments that focus on both meaning and accuracy. The seventh principle is language learning or language transfer. We learn new language best when the learning process is non-threatening and meaningful, and when we take small steps that helps us gain confidence in our ability to use the language meaningfully. That is why we must begin the second language learning by time focusing on hear-say-do activities that enable students to build up their vocabulary before they are expected to talk. Moreover, research on second language acquisition indicates that it takes a minimum of 2 years to learn. The last principle for our mother tongue-based multilingual education is the effective component valuing the home language or culture. Valuing students with talents in their home language enables learning than just valuing learners of English whose home language is irrelevant to academic success. Moreover, children from ethno-linguistic language groups thrive in a welcoming environment in which teachers and peers value them as a positive presence in the classroom and in the school. That is why it is important to encourage their use of their first language to provide books, visual representation, and concrete objects that reflects their backgrounds and interests.